All right, here we go. Here we go. Cool, cool. So got my levels set here. Let me mute this and we are ready. All right, nice. All right, what is up here? Nice. So the first thing that I'm looking at here, we go to the 4 hour. I would say price wants lower. You can see price is pushing towards this previous 4 hour low here. We jab into this fair value gap. And we see a strong move up under this 10 a.m. price now. I'm looking to see if we want to retest this base down here where you see a nice accumulation period before we expand. We close underneath this previous accumulation. So now I'm looking at this, either this gap is going to hold, right? Or price is going to push down and retest this area here. If I'm looking at the 3 hour chart, I see this engulfing our 3 hour candle here. We got decent rejection out of it. Push back into this previous 3 hour candle high right here. And you see the rejection right back into this area. So that's telling me, all right, it looks like price may end up pushing lower. If we can get another retest of this area here, right? What I'm looking at is we push up into this 3 hour high, this bearish zone up here. We break lower. We create 9:30 and 10 a.m. open price right at the same level, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that. And then you see price slam up underneath it. This is our first 10-minute candle of 10 a.m. All right. I'm looking to see if we can get a retest like this. If price holds this area with some decent rejection, I would love to see price continue lower down into this area here. All right. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful, wonderful break. I for sure did. And now for me, all I'm doing is taking advantage of these last few days of 2025 to get some more forward testing done, get some more data, and to really just build some momentum going into 2026, right? So I feel like the slow period of the month should be over with, right? And now we should start seeing price offer. This is a nice sell signal right here, bro. If it doesn't retest, see this red line here. When we got up under it, you see price push back into it, retest it with a strong closure. The reason I didn't short is because the candle just opened. So I would like to see price try its best to go a little higher, maybe even manipulate some of these 10-minute highs. But this is a nice rejection here. I'm hoping for a retest to short. All right. Looking at the 2 hour chart, we did get a decent rejection off of this 2 hour candle here. But as I mentioned, this area down here looks the most bullish. And I would love to see price retest that area before the buyers step in. All right. Other than that, we're not really showing much reaction from this bullish zone currently after 10 a.m. So far, I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer, but let's see how price responds here. Let's take a look at crypto. Crypto trying to find the bottom, but as you can see, it's really stuck in a range here. And looks pretty weak underneath this previous daily low here. Looks very weak. So I would say maybe stay away from crypto for now, see what happens. But if price can let's see here. So what I'm looking at is this structure here, right? One big emphasis that I will be adding to my analysis is just a higher time frame support and resistance, right? Which I've always used it, but now it's truly going to be like the basis of my bias, which will essentially help you pick the best areas for a trade, right? So here, right, if you're bullish, you really shouldn't be buying underneath here, right? You should wait for price to get back above this red line here and show bullishness. That's a better opportunity for buys, okay? And you'll see that something as simple as that could just save you save you a headache, right? If I'm looking for buys in this area, you can see price create this shelf here. I don't want to be looking for buys underneath here. I'd rather wait for price to get above it. Bingo, 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 bingo. And if you're short and you see price start to break structure, you want to find some sort of resistance to use as your resistance or your shelf, right? You have a break higher, break lower. You want to be short underneath here. As long as price can stay underneath here, you want to short. The moment we break it, you know that that's not a good spot for buys. I mean, for shorts. So here I'm looking at this like, all right, this looks very bearish. All depending on how price responds here. We got one closure underneath it. We're retesting that area now. Perfect. There we go. There we go. So we start closing back above here. Then we can start looking at the volume, which is another major aspect for my trading going forward. And I've been back testing, guys, so don't be surprised at how accurate these trades become going forward. It's amazing to see how many winning trades we were able to put together without these two concepts. Now adding these two concepts, higher time frame, support and resistance, and the volume profile, you'll begin to see how price truly tells you where it wants to go before it happens. All right, here we go. We see the volume profile here, right? If we zoom in, you'll notice, all right, number one, we're rejecting this EMA. Number two, we're failing to get back above this higher time frame support here. And you'll see the point of control where the most volume is taking place. You're seeing the sellers show the most control at that high volume node right here. So I would love to see price, like I said, just continue to reject here. And then I'll place a short targeting something like, yeah, let me put on, notice there's really not much stopping price, right? You have this previous daily high, that'll be a good target, right? And you have this previous weekly high. Other than that, there's nothing really stopping price from dropping here. I don't see any price points in between. I don't see, if we go to the higher time frame and look at sessions, I don't see many sessions in the way. We've already taken out that New York session, all this London, Asia liquidity, right? So I'm considering the short here. Let's see if we can get another strong 10-minute closure. If so, I will definitely short this. Really nice rejection right now. What would be a good idea for an entry here? TP 69.36. And the most recent bounce is really way down here. So yeah, price will probably drive inside of this area. So you can set your TP at about 69.35. See if we get another strong rejection from here. The first clue that price may be ready to break out is if we can start strongly closing above this 69.53 area. So we'll let price do its thing here. See what happens. But yeah, like I mentioned, the only reason shorts look good is because we're starting to close up under the bullish support, right? And this should serve as a wall now. Really solid rejection. Nice. So I'm watching this 10 minute and I'm also watching this 2 hour, right? If price can give us a strong close in the next hour and a half or so, back above this higher time frame swing low, then that's gonna open the door for bullish price action. And price can push right back to this previous 4 hour high as well. Let's see if there were any divergences off this 4 hour low going into, or 2 hour low going into NASDAQ. Nope. All right, yeah. So you see, price hasn't taken out any of the lows. So it's either gonna reject pretty soon here off of this 1 hour EMA, which has been working like a charm, or price is going to break it and then push towards this high. All right. So that's all I'm looking for here. Which way does price truly want to go? Right now, we're getting this push back above the red line on the 10 minute here. And if you notice, NASDAQ is nowhere near this level here, which also kind of hints that, all right, yeah, price is still bearish. But we'll see what happens in the next few minutes or so. I'm thinking maybe price hits this value area high potentially and then slams back lower where you get something like this. That would be clean. Or you can see price completely fail once again here. Tap into this 30-minute EMA. Maybe it won't even make it too far, right? See price start to reject right away here. And then boom, sell off. Still a lot of time left, man. 30 minutes left in this hourly candle. And as you can see, right, once price started to respect this 1 hour EMA, price has been on a complete meltdown since the market opened, pretty much. Yeah, since the market opened on Sunday, pure downside. Which now that right there, you know, that's a red flag in itself, where you see price just pick one direction and steamline in that way. Now that we sweep here, I would love to see price try and flip bullish here. Now that we know that, all right, this could be our manipulation lower. However, you don't want to try and guess the bottom as well, right? Price could still continue from this low to this area in here. It's looking pretty strong though. Let's see if NASDAQ can start showing some strength here. It's going to take a little bit of time to really confirm this reversal, so continue to be patient here. Nice rejection coming in. See if price can reclaim this red line, reclaim this point of control. All right. If not, let's say if price pushes back into this area and shows rapid strength higher, I'll be looking to buy this. And then obviously vice versa, right? If we get back underneath this red area and then get back underneath 10 a.m., which would be right here, I will place my short. on a 10-minute candle close. So this is nice right here where you see price. We broke higher once. We pulled back. We failed to take this low. And then now you're starting to see price put in a lower high. I'm sorry, a higher low here. And we're reclaiming this point of control. And we're retesting it now. So yeah, this could definitely be bullish right here, right now. And then we would anticipate price to push back up either one into the EMA, right back into this area here, right? You see where price has already shown bearishness off of this 3-hour wick right here. We got this strong engulfing 3-hour candle. Price retested the wick already after 10 a.m. Or I'm sorry, no, this was 9 a.m. Price retested this wick at 9 a.m. and showed beautiful strength lower. However, we did sweep out this 3-hour low now. So price could be playing like a ping pong type of effect where price pushes into a bearish area, sweeps the low, finds support at the low now, and then we can start climbing like that, right? Up, then down just to go back up. We're hitting this 30-minute EMA here, decent rejection. Really nice. This is starting to look pretty strong, right? You see price close through the red line, reclaim this area. And not only that, we have the point of control right next to that red line, and you're retesting it with a good amount of strength here. So personally, I would want to see, if we're bullish, I want to see this candle close bullish, and then I want to see the very next candle also show bullishness. And I'm okay with buying it somewhere up here. Put my stop underneath like a 10-point stop or something like that. And then I'm looking for this internal high here. Something of that nature right there. Really nice, really nice. And then when you look at the higher time frame, you'll start to see strength, right? You'll start to see price trying to get back in bullish territory, filling in this gap. We only had one bearish closure that was threatening to this bullish structure, and then you see this immediate correction higher. The first bearish area is going to be here, right? So this is where my TP is going to be. I'm going to take some type of target inside of this resistance right here. Let's see if it gives us a chance to enter here. Really nice. So we had the bottom, the close, the retest. I may buy this here just because of how fast it's moving. Give it 4 minutes to close. Don't want to rush it. If it wants to hit this target without me, oh well. But what I'm thinking is we broke the red line, retested the red line with a strong reaction. There it is. Nice. NASDAQ should be showing some strength as well. There we go. And because NASDAQ hasn't broken this area yet, you don't want to feel like, you need to get in right now or you're going to miss it, because there's still a lot more upside to go. If we're truly bullish, NASDAQ has to get above here. And if we get above here, then NASDAQ should take this high. All right. So with that being said, I don't need to feel like I need to rush in here. Give it time to close, give you your final confirmation, and then I'll look for buys. Check this higher time frame here. See what the EMA looks like. So 23 minutes before this candle closes, 30 minutes. Nice. So we're at least starting to see some 30-minute closures through. We got one candle here. We got 23 minutes left. So the best trade idea is probably going to come once we see a 30-minute closure through this EMA resistance, because you don't want to get caught in a wick here if price decides to wick like it did on this candle. All right, you saw price wick through the EMA and slam right back under it last minute. Nice. So yeah, we're chilling. Bias looks bullish right now, but you really just can't confirm it until these candles close. All right, back to the 10-minute chart, and we're gonna see what happens here. All right, there we go. So you can see right here, this value area high served as resistance, still showing that price is really just not ready to go anywhere. And we're still underneath this level over here on the NASDAQ. And as I mentioned, still 20 minutes remain here. So we will get a better idea in another 1 or 2 10-minute candle close opportunities here. I like what I'm seeing, right? You see the battle going on. You see price push lower, flip higher, reject a key area for the shorts, but the shorts were not able to finish the job. So either the price is pulling back to retest, like I said, the value area high, and then we do something like this, value area high, get back underneath this EMA, underneath this red level here, and then finish the shorts. Or price is slowly absorbing those sellers right now, and you're going to see price fail to make a low here, fail to take out this low, push up, retest above this red line, and then start maintaining this area to climb higher. Those are the only 2 scenarios here. So patience will pretty much give you the answer. I like how we're holding above this red line though. This wick right here makes it a bit more difficult to read because I would want to see price start closing above here before I think it's truly bullish. Close above the point of control, close above higher time frame support, retest that support, and then give a strong bullish closure up here. NASDAQ chilling. Yeah. Yeah, we're chilling, man. I like how this 30-minute candle is showing strength above this EMA so far. Still have 17 minutes left, but so far you can see that price just hasn't shown much strength underneath it right now. Here we are on ES trying to break it as well. So we'll see. Give it a few minutes here. I'm gonna grab something to drink and see what happens. Market is crazy red today. And also, like, I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it in the chat room, but 2026, I will be trading ES 100%. Every one of my trades will be on the S&P 500. NASDAQ has proven to be a waste of time when it matters the most. And ES seems to be the leader. When I go through my notes and I'm looking at the charts, anytime price action gets tough, ES is the one that clears it up for me. So noticing that, ES is obviously dealing with a lot more companies, a lot more data. There's 500 companies that feed into this algorithm, which ultimately is 5 times more than the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is literally the baby sister or the little brother, whichever way you want to put it. ES will pretty much help your P&L curve significantly. As long as you have a profitable strategy, ES is the one you really want to focus on. So that's what I'll be doing going forward. Previous daily low here. I like it. We'll see. I like how price is refusing to go lower here. Very nice. And then, like I mentioned on the higher time frame, what else is there when you look at this move into it? This bearish area would be the only roadblock ahead of price right now. And on the higher time frame, you got this area up here, which needs to be revisited. So even if it does end up going back bearish from this specific level, this 69, 65 area, if it does go back bearish from here, you can at least catch a decent scalp. My stop would probably be like 9 points just to catch something quick, right? And if I'm short, I would prefer short, to be real. The shorts will give you a much better target, something like this, like a 11, 12 point stop or something like that. And you can catch 13 to 14 points underneath this red line here. I like how NASDAQ still hasn't broken it. So those are my two scenarios. And the shorts, like I mentioned, just look a lot better. However, you got to be careful and just be patient here. I love the exhaustion that's starting to come in here. Yeah, I love the exhaustion starting to show here. And I want to see if price can just show more weakness with a strong move lower, and then that'll open the door for the short. There we go. Nice selling pressure. So you see how we gave price a chance here to climb, and you see what is rejecting price. This value area high is a beautiful point of rejection right now. And now we just want to see price get back into bearish territory. And from there, I can start looking at an entry for short. It just depends, man. We're still waiting here. Hopefully we get some clarity. I love the rejection off of this EMA. It's just a little bit too early to short, but it's starting to look like a short. We have three levels of interest, right? You have the orange level, which is the point of control where the most volume is taking place inside of this range. All right. And then you have this red line, which is the higher time frame support and resistance level. And then you have the final level, which is 9:30 and 10 a.m. open price sitting right in here, which will serve as support or resistance as well. We can slam through those three with a solid closure. Shorts are going to flood. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. All right, there we go. Right. So now you see a strong closure through all three levels. What's going to happen now is we should get some sort of push back to confirm that price is ready to go lower, right? Because let's say, for example, you shorted this candle here at 10 a.m. and you didn't wait for price to retest, you get so much drawdown, right? Here, what could happen is we get the break. You should get some sort of attempt to go higher. And that attempt to go higher should be met with more sellers. And that's where I'll look to get involved, right? So far, so good, though. This is fast, bro. I don't like how fast this is. It's probably gonna run without us, man. Dang. This is fast. Look how fast it just bled here. What's the 5 minute looking like? All I could ask for is a retest because I'm not chasing anything. I'm not gonna chase anything. We should get a retest. Let's check on NASDAQ. Look at this free fall. That's a long way to go. So I think oh my goodness, this is really bleeding right now. But you can see, right? Long story short, I don't care to catch every trade going into this new year. If you guys really, really were serious about your trading this year, there's some things I'm sure you guys have learned, right? And the one thing that I've completely accepted is you don't have to catch every trade. It's actually better if you don't, because if you stick to your rules and you just wait for the break and retest, which is the best approach to any trader's journey, right? You wait for that break and retest. You may miss some, but what's going to happen is you're also going to miss out on losers as well. Like people are going to try jumping into trades and then it backfires because you didn't wait for the retest and price just rips right back up through here, made you think it was going to sell off, right? Those are the trades I'm looking to avoid 100% of the time. I don't, you know what I mean? You may have to sacrifice some trades that just go straight to TP without you. But on the other hand, it'll save you from those trades that trick you into shorting that literally fake you out. And if you can avoid those fake outs, you can avoid those FOMO type of trades, what'll happen is your win rate will remain A plus. You know, you're not taking unnecessary losses. And I want to be as robotic as possible going into 2026. Those are the small things that I have to work on. As far as my actual trading, my trading was just fine 2025. Ended the year profitable, and now it's time to take it to the next level. 2025 was really only supposed to help me like confirm my edge, right? I wasn't supposed to make too much money in 2025. 2026 is where I'm looking to pick it up and start really rolling. And here goes a nice wick. But as I mentioned, I just want to see price retest. A nice retest will confirm everything, because let's say, for example, let's say price does this right here. Let's say price pushes down into here, you start getting more wicks. And then on the retest, let's say we shoot right back above this point of control, right back above resistance, right back above all of this. Then I pretty much want to lock in on the buys. A retest, any strong bullish retest, I want to buy that. And then vice versa, we wait for the retest. We get up in this area and you see price just failing to go. Then that's worth a short every single time. And you'll send price lower. One thing I'm noticing here is this value area low is serving as a really nice area of interest. Let's get some volume profile going over here on NASDAQ. Same thing here. Underneath the point of control, underneath the EMA, and the last bit of support seems to be this value area low. So once this breaks, there should be a free fall, right? And if this area holds and we start to break the opposite way, then you know price should run. We have midnight price. We have a pretty decent move up above if price wants to break higher. To your average trader, this might look like chop, but to me, this looks very clean. You can see where the volume is, right? You can see where the higher time frame support is, and you can see price maintaining this EMA. So far, this looks bearish, right? But that doesn't guarantee downside until we start seeing this retest right here hold up to where we can put in another lower high like this for lower. All right. But yeah, man, the goal overall, bro, is to gradually increase my risk from 500 to 1,000, from 1,000 to 2,000, from 2,000 to $5,000 trades, or maybe $3,000 trades may be my max in my journey, where I can make $3,000 in a single day. We've pretty much had a bunch of data to support increasing. So my goal going into this new year is to reach $1,000 to $1,500 trades on the regular with a very, very, very good win rate. All right. $500 trades, we completely, it was really, we probably kept like a 75% win rate throughout the year. December was the only month where price just stopped moving essentially. And all my losses were because of the market just not moving. And I don't really want to let that weigh too heavy on my psychology, right? All right, here we go. Pushing back into the EMA now. I would love to see price offer some sort of rejection. And this will be where I'll take my short. Let's see. Not bad. I like this speed though. I would want to see price literally like reject with a lot of bearish pressure here, being that it is 11 a.m. We're about to open a new 30-minute candle, a new hourly candle. I want to see this level continue to serve as resistance now, right? You see the resistance coming in. Perfect. And I want to see that new 30-minute candle offer the same thing where we push into here and just completely reject. And that'll be my trigger for a short. Really nice so far. This is nice. The one thing, like I always mention, right? If you guys have been trading with me all year, you'll know that it's very important to wait for these new hourly candles. So if you look at the clock, we have 30 seconds until the next hourly candle will open, because even the next 30-minute candle, right? You know that if price is bearish, what's going to happen is price is going to open higher and then push lower, right? Easy. But if price wants to completely invalidate all of this, you could get open lower, fail to take out some liquidity, and then immediately climb to take out buy side instead. So that algorithm is pretty much going to give you the answer if you can wait. All right, here we go. New 30-minute candle. I want to see price open higher aggressively here. That's going to start pointing me in the right direction for shorts. And also we have this value area low interaction with this new candle opening. Pretty solid, man. I really want to, I don't want to see this, because if price tries to go lower fast, it could sweep out some of these lows and then go back bullish. Something lame like that. I just want to see price trade higher here, guys, so I can short it on the way back down. Because we've seen everything we needed to see up until this 11 a.m. candle. If it wasn't 11 a.m., I would be in a short right now. Stop above here, 11 points. I would short it, something like that. And I would be looking for a move lower here. What price would this be? 69.49. All right, now let's get a nice push into here, please. Either retest this higher time frame support, or retest the EMA, or retest this 10 a.m. price and show more rejection, and I'll be hip for a short. 69.48.75. Go 69.69.48, 69.48 even. Yeah, 69.48 even, 11.5-point stop with a 13-point target, 69.48. And if I'm using an 11-point stop, that'll be 8 micros. This is nice, man. Nasdaq should be showing the same rejection here. Really nice. Just waiting on a decent closure here. Don't want to get too antsy because this candle could start rejecting this value area low again like we saw and then start going higher. So you really don't want to get too antsy. I'm pretending as if these are like 1-minute candles, even though it's a 10-minute candle, right? Just to convince myself that I need to wait for this closure. Who cares how long it takes? Just wait on the closure. You have lots of liquidity down here that you can target. Price could even push to this low, right? Me personally, I don't like to be greedy, so I'm going to set a target at the top of that zone. But you don't want to feel like price is actually going to just hit this level and stop. You want to plan appropriately, get the best entry after confirmation, and go from there. So far, it looks solid, bro. Let's see what the 5-minute candles look like. It's beautiful. 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 And I noticed they added a few other tabs up here. You got the seasonality. Currently 2025 is in blue. So if you look, 2025 is pretty much behind the curve. It's in bearish territory. If you look at the previous years, we're only up 17%, whereas the past few years around this time we're up 25, 28%. And then you have, what else was up here? Technicals, neutral on the oscillators, moving averages strong by. And then we have contracts. Okay. All right, let's see what happens here. Go back to the chart. Okay, yeah, we're still pushing in this area. We got a nice 5-minute closure here. Let's see what this next 5-minute candle does. We probably push up for the first 5 minutes, just like we saw here. This candle right here for the first 5 minutes pushed into the EMA. And then you started to get that selling pressure. This is starting to look nice. 4 minutes left. We get a nice strong closure here. I'm hip for the short. 69.47. $69.47. I may go with like a 12 or 13, 12.5 point stop to cover this value area high a little bit better. Even though I don't anticipate price to break past here, which it'll be like 8 points at 4 points, 4.5 points for security, because our target is at least 1 R away. And as long as I can target 1 R, I want the safest stop loss possible. You know, you could go greedy and be like, all right, I could go 9 points here and get like a 1.5 R. But at the end of the day, I'd rather just pick the safest stop so that I don't have to go back and forth with, if I get stopped out, then I'll have to get back in. Whereas if I get stopped out up here, then I'm probably going to flip bullish, right? Price gets way back up here, closing past this, I'll probably go back bullish. Really nice. 5-minute chart should be closing soon. As we mentioned, it should push up, start flipping lower. We start flipping here. I'm gonna short this. Yeah, let me get ready to short this. 8 micros. Yeah, price is showing exactly what we want to see here. Oh, 8 micros. See, there it is. It's gonna try to run. 1 point lower. I'm gonna short that there. Yeah, I'm gonna short that right there. And 10-minute candle is gonna close in a minute. 5-minute candle flips through this low here after pushing higher, showing us a nice algorithmic development here. The first half of this candle was very, very bullish, and then we start to take out lows instead of taking out highs, and we're holding this EMA. Really nice. All right, and I want to see price offer. Where's TP? Got that previous daily high right here, and then you have 1R, which would be right here. And then my yeah, stop was above here, right? Stop would be, yeah, entry 47, 46 area. There it is. Stop above here. I'll go like 13 points. So it'll be a little bit more than 500 bucks just to secure this high. 13, which would be 69.59.25. And then 1R would be 69.33.25. 6959.25. Perfect. So yeah, like 50 bucks more, 40 bucks more, and then boom. That's what I'm looking for here. And as I mentioned, these are the areas I want to see hold up right here. We got a new hourly candle opening, retesting this area, showing weakness. I don't want to see price get back above these 930 areas, and then I can put this volume profile on here as well to keep track of the point of control. You want to see price remain underneath this point of control as well as this value area high, right? So you have this box where price should stay within and continue to expand lower. Okay, as long as we remain inside of this box, the chances of shorts are completely in control. Price will need to break out of this value area high for you to genuinely believe that price is going bullish. All right, so I'm just going to let this play out. I'll set some alerts down at this previous daily high here just in case price tries to act weird here. Have an alert there, and then I'll have an alert up above this value area high. Change the sound, and I'm just gonna walk away here. Sound notification and bell. What does it sound like? All right, there we go. So I'm gonna put that there. Save that. And yeah, so this is my strike zone, right? My stop is above all of the chop in here, and I want to see price continue to maintain bearish structure underneath 69.56. And from there, that's going to be my A plus setup, knowing that if price does get above, let's say 69.57, then I don't want shorts anymore. So my next trade idea, I'll be limited to buys only. And from there, price should start to expand bullish, right? If not, price should never even get back up in here, and we should see price start triggering alerts down here. So let's actually go to the higher time frame because we're done with the 10-minute. And I want to see 30-minute candles start to expand off of this EMA rejection and off of this 9:30 open price, 10 a.m. open price. All right, alerts are valid. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll be back. Let this one play out and we'll see what happens. All right, cool. So alerts going off here. Alerts going off here. I'm considering just closing out here for how many points would this be? This would be, it got in here. This would be 8.5 points. And the reason I'm considering this is because we're taking a long time here and we're stabbing back into this area, showing some resistance right now. I may lock in a $300 day. Just depends on how price responds right now. Good patience today. I'm not sure why the volume just dried up the way it did, but you see every level of interest maintained. You see the expansion finally going through here. And now we're taking out this low here on NASDAQ. We could see a pullback. So I'm considering closing this, and I probably will here. Let's check the lower time frame for some fair value gaps that could potentially hold for us. But I'm not really interested in holding this because of how long it took. When you get that breakout, you want to see price start to expand, which is exactly what we get here. But now price is stabbing into the first level of resistance, and you can see it's already starting to give up here. So I'm going to take my 300 today. It's a Monday. Can't complain about that. About 8 points here on the ES. And that's a good way to start the week. All right, let's see here. I'm going to let VIP know right now I am out of my full position here at 8 points. Or I'll just move my stop to 8 points. All right, yeah, so for VIP, I'm just going to move my stop from VIP right now. Stop is going to go at 8 points, which would be right here, right now. So if price does pull back, it'll stop VIP out at 8 points, which would be, entry was, all right, so 6,000, 9, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4. Yeah, 3, 8. There we go. All right, yeah, VIP stopped out there. A nice $300 day. And I could, like I said, I don't mind holding these types of trades, but the red flag for me is we've officially taken out this low on NASDAQ. You're going to see some sort of pullback, and we're tapping into that previous daily high here on ES, right? You see this level right here? This was the first alert here. Alerts are triggered. We stab into it, give a very strong reaction, and price is just losing volume. So I don't really want to be greedy on a day like this, right? Be back tomorrow. Good start to the week. Hopefully that that sequence made sense, right? We pretty much drew up this trade, and the higher time frame helped us to avoid all of this choppiness here. But you can see the zone that price offered for the short still holding up. We finally break under it. Price could retest this level and then continue lower, right? It is 12:30. I really don't want to give back profits and deal with more drawdown, right? We had to sit in a good amount of drawdown while we waited for this move. You could potentially go break even on your prop account. But yeah, I'll take what the market has given me today. I probably end up hitting full TP, but this will be my approach going forward. Just do your best to gauge the volume and then take what the market gives you. Any other day, we would probably have hit maybe 15-point move, 20-point move by now. But price has been stuck in this area for a while, so. All right, cool. So I'm going to drop this in my notes. I'm going to mark off some levels in here for my for my notes. I would love to see price start taking out these hourly lows down in here. And, you know, maybe tonight or tomorrow. But really good transition and slow move. But you can see that there was no reason to be buying here, right? Like I said, up under here, up under this support, just look for shorts down into the next support. That's exactly what we catch here. We hit the support. I could have went tighter stop loss, right? A tight stop loss on the entry above 930. But safer is always better. Let me draw this up here. I think my entry was around 7s. Yeah, somewhere in here. Short. Bro, come on. Yep, stop up here. And like I said, I could have put my stop here. And as the year goes on, as I get more wins, I'll start to be more aggressive with my stop loss. But very important right now to just secure wins, right? I think entry was after 11, 12. What time was the entry? Yeah, after 11. Yeah, so the entry was here. Yeah, entry was like here somewhere. If I did put my stop tight, I would have dealt with a lot of stress. Not bad though, not bad. Gonna journal this and then we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the volume picks up. If not, this is why you want to just take what the market gives you while we work towards the end of 2025. The market may start to chop a little bit. All right, cool. Yeah, so you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I think we're good. Yeah. If you guys aren't in the chat room, go ahead, join the chat room here. I'll drop the link right now. All trade recaps and things like that are in the chat room. All right. You guys take care, man. Like I said, this is a really good example of how trading will look for me throughout this year. And then I'll just start to scale up my risk as we build up that buffer. All right. Take care. If you guys, like I said, need a community or just want to join a legit, consistent chat room where we trade every single day as long as it's not a holiday or FOMC or something like that. So jump in the chat room and we'll see you guys later.